Didik TV KPM.
And we are back. You are now watching Upper Form on Didik TV KPM. Our lesson for today is in English Form 4 together with Miss Sim. Alright, Miss Sim, shall we continue?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so if you can see here, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So just now we mentioned about the causes and effects of air pollutions. So now we have to talk about what are the measures or some solutions that can help us to cope with these air pollutions.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so I would like to ask my pupils here again, the same thing. Okay, so what can we do? So maybe they can have some instincts, so they can have some insights, they can have their opinions to express. Okay, so we would like to know what do they think, like what can we do in order to cope with these air pollutions? Maybe we start with Eileen first.
Okay.
Eileen?
Okay, from my point of view, citizens play a crucial role to reduce air pollution. Third, citizens are encouraged to carpool in order to reduce the number of transportations on the routes. Not only that, it can reduce the traffic jam too. The carbon monoxide produced by car can also be reduced. It seems like killing two birds with one stone.
Okay, so she mentioned about carpooling, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, good. All right. How about Jiaxuan next?
So from my point of view, the citizen must be responsible for the air pollution. The citizens can plant and grow as many trees as possible. The tree can help in removing carbon dioxide and reduce the greenhouse effect, as well provide us clean air to breathe. The increasing number of trees in an urban area is the essential to improve the air quality.
All right, cool. I like this idea, yeah, to plant more trees, you know, especially in
That's
the
right.
urban area. Yeah. Right. Okay, how about Jian Hong? What do you think?
In my humble opinion, while I do agree with the notion that an individual should be responsible for the quality of air we breathe, the factory owners need not forget their responsibilities as well in preventing air pollution. The emissions and carbon footprint are leaps and bounds ahead of any normal person, yet they face minimal repercussions for this. Governments should enforce the law so those companies and their factories will substitute non-renewables with more sustainable energy, or else they will be fined or have the risk of their factories being shut down.
All right, I see. It come with like a serious issue. Like, so for the factories owners, so the government should enforce the law and they should change their way, like to substitute the non-renewable to a sustainable energy, like what he say. Yeah. Okay. How about Kian Long?
Well, in my opinion, factory owners should take more responsibility when it comes to solving this problem. They should focus more on using renewable energy such as solar, as it's eco-friendly and there's no limit to using it. Fossil fuels will be gone for good eventually if we keep using them too much. Besides, factories should have a proper hazardous waste disposal system to prevent the residents living near the factories becoming the next victim.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So Kian Long mentions about we cannot just rely on the fossil fuels, yeah, and then somewhat it may if those factories they do not handle their waste properly, so it may affect the health or the living lifestyle of the residents nearby. Yeah?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So not only the individual, like the authorities, they also have to take part on this. Yeah, they have to have their responsibilities. They have their duties to cope with this issue as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's recap, right? Let's go back to our formal registers. When we talk about a serious issues, yeah, when we talk about a common issue, we need to use formal registers in our sentences, like what they have mentioned just now as well. They use full sentences. They use those cohesive devices to guide them. Yeah, first and foremost, however, you know. Okay, so formal register is very important to talk about important or official matters, discussions of a serious issue or any issues maybe, and talk about the business, debate, or in educations, right? Okay, and then we have to avoid using slang, right? Contractions, abbreviations, and informal tones. For example, okay, I've shown you just now, we have all this. Yeah, I'm going to show you again, right, to recap. Okay, then next, those examples that we can use in our sentences, remember? All right, to begin our sentence, to continue our sentence, or to end our sentence. So you can use first and foremost, okay? My first point is, all right, you can use the second point or secondly. You can also mention besides, but remember, you don't need to say besides that. You just use besides enough.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. To end your maybe your ideas. Yeah. Maybe you can say for your last point, right? You can conclude it, but instead of saying conclusion, because some of my pupils, they will like to say conclusions, but actually you have to say in conclusion. You don't miss out in,
Yes.
Or you can say to conclude, not just conclude, no. All right, okay. So to end your point there. All right, okay, so now let's go to the summary. So what have we learned today? Remember, we learned how to differentiate in between these two pictures, how to describe them, and we also learned how to use formal register to give our idea and opinions, and we also learned how to provide supporting details to support our ideas.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to use appropriate formal registers to talk about a serious issue. Like here, we're talking about air pollution, so we must use formal registers, right?
Yeah.
And for the second point, we always provide explanations for our opinions or for our so that other people will trust us, or at least we can persuade them. All right, tends to cite us. Like, okay, when we give our opinions, our explanations, all right? So people will tend to, I agree with you, right? Okay, so, and then for the last part, when comparing two different things, right? Like just now, two different pictures, we always look for similarities or differences between them, or we can also target on the pros and cons, like just now, the first activity, the warm-up activity, right? We talk about the pros and cons of living in an urban area.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you so much for that summary. But we would also like to know how were the students, or what were their overall performance like throughout this entire lesson?
I see that they all use the formal register. They do not use slang, or they do not use any abbreviations here.
Yep.
Yeah, their tone is like quite formal, I
Okay.
can say. It's quite good. And then the sentences that they use are full sentences, and they do not have any hanging sentences there.
Yep.
So I think all of them have done a great job.
All right, well
Yeah.
done, everyone. And for those of you who are watching at home or who are currently online and you'd like to get some enhancement exercises or materials for this lesson, where can I get it from?
Yeah, so if you would like to get more sources for this, you can actually visit the Dilemma portal.
All
Yeah, we
right.
have that.
Thank you once again, Miss Sim, for our lesson
Right.
for today, and thank you to Miss Kathy as our sign language interpreter, as well as our pupils who are online right now. Thank you so much for joining us, and for those of you watching at home, hopefully this has been beneficial to all of you. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in our next class. Bye!
Bye.